My mother-in-law grabbed my wrist as I was walking down the aisle and whispered, "Why are you wearing that ring?" I stopped mid-step, genuinely confused. "Because you gave it to me." The music kept playing. My dad bumped into me from behind. "I told you to keep it safe," my mother-in-law snapped back. "I didn't say to wear it." Her fingers were digging into my wrist. She wasn't looking at my face. She was staring at the ring like it was a lit fuse. "Trudy, what is going on?" my dad hissed. Guests were turning. My fiancé Pete was standing at the altar looking confused. My bridesmaids were frozen at the entrance. "Take it off," she snapped again. "Before anyone sees you wearing it." I leaned it and whispered, "Everyone's already seen it. I've worn it all morning." "Trudy, what?" "Mom?" A voice came from behind me. Not Pete, someone in the pews. I turned around. Pete's sister Claire was standing up. She was pale, staring at my hand. "Mom, why is she wearing Sophie's ring?" The church went quiet at once. My mother-in-law let go of my wrist, stepped back. Her face was white. "Who's Sophie?" I asked. Nobody answered. Claire walked into the aisle, slowly. Her eyes never left my hand. "That's Sophie's ring," she said again. I'd recognize it anywhere. The sapphire, the little diamonds, the twist in the band. I looked at the ring. White gold, small sapphire, tiny diamonds. A slight twist in the band where it met the setting. "I don't know who Sophie is," I said. "Trudy told me this was a family heirloom." Claire laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. "Oh, it's a family heirloom, all right." She turned to her mother. "Tell her, Mom. Tell her who Sophie was." My mother-in-law didn't move. Pete walked down from the altar. "Someone needs to explain what's happening right now." The whole church was staring at us. I felt my face going red. The biggest day of my life was being held hostage by something I didn't even understand. Claire looked at me. "Sophie was our sister." The air left my lungs. I didn't even know they had a sister. I turned to Pete. "Why did you never tell me you had a sister?" He looked at the ground, didn't say anything. I could see Claire tearing up. "Because it's too painful for him," she said. "She was his twin sister. She died in a car crash when they were 17. Claire's voice cracked. "That ring was hers. Dad gave it to her for her 16th birthday. Mom told us she buried it with her. She made a whole speech about how Sophie should have it forever." My jaw dropped. I looked at the ring on my finger. My fiancé's dead twin's ring, who I never even knew existed. Then at my mother-in-law. "You told your children you buried this ring with their dead sister?" She didn't answer. "Then you gave it to me." Pete grabbed his mother's arm. "Why? You don't understand." I said why. She pulled away from him. Looked around the church at all the faces staring at her. Family, friends, colleagues. "I couldn't bury it," she finally said. "It was too beautiful, too valuable. Sophie would have wanted—" "Don't." Claire's voice was sharp. "Don't tell me what Sophie would have wanted." I cried for months because I thought that ring was in the ground with her. I visited her grave on her birthday every year and talked to her about how she was wearing Dad's ring forever. "Claire, and the whole time it was sitting in your jewelry box?" The murmuring started. Guests whispering, people pulling out phones. Pete's father stood up from his seat. I'd never seen him cry before. "Trudy," he said with tears in his eyes. "I handmade that ring for her. I sat in that funeral home and watched them close the casket believing she was wearing it, knowing Daddy is always with her. Richard, please, don't ever talk to me again." He stood up and walked out. Didn't run, didn't yell, just walked out of the church. Claire followed him. My mother-in-law stood alone in the aisle, 200 people staring at her. "I didn't think you'd wear it," she said to me. Her voice was barely a whisper. "I thought you'd keep it in a box. You're always so careful with nice things. I thought you thought I'd hide it," I said. "The way you did." She didn't deny it. Pete took my hand, the one without the ring. "We're postponing the ceremony." Then he turned to the guests. He led me down the aisle and out the side door. We sat in the